So hope to see you all there. But let's get started with our yoga practice. Welcome to class, everyone. I would love to start class today in child's pose. So head on back to your mat, and it's okay if you don't know what that is. I'm going to show you. All right, we make our way back, and you'll notice I just put this little towel, or it's like a blanket, on my mat to rest my head on for the beginning. And also, if you like to cushion your knees in lunges, because we have a good bit of kneeling lunges in today's practice, a blanket or a soft pillow, sweatshirt, anything that you feel would be really cozy. And we're stretching out today in child's pose with arms behind us to begin. We want to try to find the middle of our forehead and press it onto our soft cushion or our blanket, and then reach our hands somewhere behind us. Let them be really heavy into the mat. If you can reach your heels, hold onto your heels and draw your shoulders way back down, and then let your arms be heavy. Take a second to rock side to side over the middle of your forehead, which we call our third eye, the place of intuition, and you're just massaging out any frown lines, any concentration lines from your work this morning. And then land over on your left temple, looking to the right, stretching out the right side of our necks. It can be really tough to breathe when our chest is on our thighs. So if you're feeling uncomfortable, feel free to lift up, spread your knees wider so your belly can sink down between your thighs, and then start to try to inflate your belly and back like a balloon. Third eye back to center, eye gaze off to the left. And as we're inflating like a balloon here, we're feeling a bit like a jellyfish, where we're moving in all directions equally, like north, south, east, and west, all growing, inflating, expanding, and contracting as one big unit. Back to the center. In our child's pose, we extend overhead, extended child's pose. Arms reach out long. Stretch back so you feel your armpits lifting. Feel that great energy coming up under the arms. And you can even tent your fingertips, suction cupping them towards one another, dropping your chin to your chest and your third eye or more towards your scalp, right down towards the mat. One more big breath in here, like that jellyfish, really inflate. Start to rise out of child's pose, flatten your palms and draw yourself forward. Let your hips scoot a little forward and lift your chin. Then ease right on back to child's pose. So we're coming into a tabletop and then passing through for a little back stretch and lengthening. Right back to child's. Now notice how your back is moving. Are you able to drop your belly, lift your tailbone as you press back to child's, and then draw your back up chin to chest and round forward. We're gonna call this cat and cow. We have a cow as we head back, and a cat on the way forward, a rolling cat sequence. Inhale, and feel free to really bend into your elbows, scrunch up your shoulders, try to get as much movement through your practice as possible, getting rid of any stale and stagnant energy. One more round like that. Breath in, and breath out. Find tabletop now, hands under shoulders, knees under hips and heels behind your knees. If you need your cushioning under your knees, please take it. Right fingertips to your temple or to the back of your head to open your right elbow to the sky and then drop it back down. Let's breathe in and rise and drop it back down. Now draw your navel in tight so it's hugging up towards your spine and protecting your low back for our first set of twists today. One more big opening and closing. And then attempt to stay up at the tippy top. Elbow rises, eye gaze looks wherever your neck feels good. Lengthening your left side, really pull out like you're opening your chest really proud. Reach your right arm up and then twist it under the left arm for thread the needle. Okay, as we reach out, we're gonna turn our palm down and walk our fingers like spider legs on the way out. And let your left arm either reach forward or if that feels too close to your face, right behind your low back. I might want to pull that little pillow under my right temple so I can build the floor up a bit and be really comfy in my twist. One more breath and you thread the needle. And let's rewind as slowly as we can, being really consciously aware of our movements. Left arm stretching out, right arm unthreading, reaching back to the sky, and release back to extended child's pose. Lift your body again, but this time stick your right toes back. Really stick them to the mat. Press back as far as you can, and then start these tiny pulses forward and back. Making sure we're listening to the feedback in our shoulders. We want to be really comfy here. So our hands might want to move back directly under shoulders. If it feels good, like you're strengthening, you can keep them forward. Cross your left toes over cross your right toes over your left, and then peek around the corner towards your toes. So I have this big twisted tabletop. Opening and broadening expansively in the right side. Dropping shoulders down so my neck feels really long and free. Right back into the center, and this time pointer, right toes back as the left arm reaches forward. And all I want you to think about is being as long as possible. Top of head to tail, shoulders to hip bones, and bottom of foot to tip of fingers. Right back down to tabletop. Beautiful work. Let's try it on the left side. Left fingertips to temple or behind our head. And we're opening. Eye gaze may follow. Closing. Use an in-breath, yogis. Open. Exhalation to release. This feels good, doesn't it? We have to pay attention to our bottom side, though. Really long. Always lengthening as we go through our postures today. Remembering that your practice is very individual. It doesn't look exactly like mine or anyone else's screen that you can see. So like down here, if I want to bend my elbow, up here, if I want to push my hips, whatever feels good. Last open and close. Stay at the tippy top. Open, and then if you want to extend your arms, see if that feels really good. One more big breath up in this opening posture. Exhale, release, and thread your needle. Left fingers walking under right arm. Wiggle out as far as you can to land left temple somewhere on the ground or on your prop, and then reach forward or release your right shoulder behind you. Oh, really nice to open mouth exhalation. It's sometimes in the beginning of your practice. Give yourself a big sigh of relief. Know that you've entered a really beautiful space in your day. Untangling yourself when you're ready, being really slow and methodical about your unwind. Lift your left arm again. Drop back to table, and let's stick our left toes behind us. Now where do we want to go? A little pulse. Might feel great to stay right here and just push far through the left heel. I always like to move and invite space in. Waking up our calves in case we've been seated a lot today. Left toes cross over the right, and then we're going to peek around the corner and try to find them with our vision. Big opening breath through the left side. Act as if you could basket weave your breath all through each rib. Over and under, cleaning and polishing the bones. Come on back forward, pointer, right arm, reaches long, left foot. Now go long in every space in your body, even from your earlobes to your shoulders. Really lengthen everything out. Connect with your breath. One more big breath. Placing everything back down and kneeling if you can in toes pose. Check me out for a sec. I've got all 10 toes tucked under here. Sometimes you have to tuck your little pinky guy. If that's uncomfortable, just kneel with your buns on your heels and tops of feet flat. You can always cushion up under knees or under your buns to be really comfy every time we find a place. Inhale, arms rise, and then they land on our thighs. Right arm rises, big inhalation, tip over. Let it fall. Left arm rises, just finding our breath, yogis. Let's add on. We reach with our right arm, but then see where else you can go with it. So I love to reach on the diagonal and spin it around. Oh, so nice for your low back and under your shoulder blade. Try to really reach. Next in breath, rise. Same thing with the left arm. Lift up. Tip. Reach on the next inhale and really go for some luscious space underneath the left shoulder blade all the way down to your low back. Back to center. Take the arms to the floor if you can reach to give yourself more moments of stretch. Breathe in, reach over really big now. Soften our left shoulder here like we're just a buoy floating in water. Spin around. Inhale, rise. Left arm does the same. Really come over first. As long as you can be, then reach forward and just float around. All the way back up into the center. Reach both arms up. Fingertips behind our head. And we're going to press forward with our fingertips. Notice my head starts tipping. And then I want to push back with my head. So I have equal pressure here, building up strong neck muscles this way. If you finger the tender spot on your head, just move so you feel no pressure, no pain. Move more towards the back of your head. Push fingertips in, press head back. Great exercise to counter tech neck, where we feel really weak and strained in the back of our necks. One more big breath in. Let your arms fall somewhere supportive and tuck your chin to your chest. Nod straight back up. Chin to chest, swing right ear to right shoulder. Back to center and rise. Down, left ear to left shoulder. Back to center and rise. Now, as we continue this, feel free to tuck chin and keep it, and then roll side to side. It's a little safer to come back to the center and restart, but if you feel pretty safe and confident in your neck stretches, go for it. You can also circle all the way around if you know your neck is healthy, but be aware of what your body's doing. Long in your sides, long in your back ribs and your front ribs. Torso is very awake and alert. One more big breath in. If you're getting the tingles in the tops of your feet, that's a good thing. That's all that new energy we're bringing to those areas. Last big in and out breath. All right, we gotta wake up our toes because they may have fallen asleep back there. So you lift your body up and find something soft to tap on, but you literally give yourself a drum roll and tap your feet on the ground. Or you can tuck your toes and crouch back. So whatever feels best to awaken your feet and your ankles before we stand on them. I do love a good crouch. It really wakes up your ankles. And feel free if you're crouching to spin your hips, spin your knees. And if you're still drum rolling, hang in there for one more breath. When you're ready, yogis, everyone tuck toes and crouch back. We're rising to forward fold. Remember that forward fold is really tough in the beginning of class with our hamstrings being tight. Place something under your belly and in between your thighs, or bend your knees a lot and then fold. Hang here for a minute. Take some time to find a way to breathe smoothly while you're upside down. Slowly rise to the sky any way that feels good. We can come up with a really wiggly back. We can roll up or flat back rise, but let's try 2 more times, however it feels good to you. Same as we fall, really flat and long, swan diving. Now I'm gonna find a different way. I like to swing side to side as I rise. And then another way you can fall is arms at the top, palms together, and come like you're diving into a lake or a crystal clear blue Caribbean Sea. One more time to rise. We can place our hands on our hips, flat back rise. Inhale. And then another great way to fall is ragdoll. Literally feel like you're melting. Just melt to the earth. So now you have all those ways to choose from this point forward. Switch it up and make it feel really unique. Halfway lift, top of your head away from your tail. Wiggle your fingers. Try to hover them. Use a strong back body. Place fingertips forward and lift off of your heels. Rock forward, rock back to heels. Finding our feet, yogis. Rock forward, back to heels. Toes are liberated. They're really free. You can wiggle them here and there. One more rock forward and back. Let's stay on both heels and lift just our left leg, really pushing out long. Left finger stay down. We're twisting our bodies open. Turn your right toes open, lift up through your right arm, wherever it can go. Stack your hips and your shoulders over one another. Take a big breath in and try to circle your top arm all the way back and down, right back to where we were. Square your hips, push your right heel away, land and forward fold. Left leg elevates the same. Press it back. Chest is halfway lifted. We're in supported warrior 3. Turn left toes out. Lift left arm to the sky. Finding a half moon. Really tough place to start class, but it feels really nice to open our hips and our shoulders when we've been seated a lot. Top arm circles down and around. We find a forward fold and bring fingertips back to toes. One big rise. Inhalation lifts us to the sky. Bigger breath, big sip at the top, and then find your way down, whatever speaks to you. Right toes, step back into lunge. If you're kneeling, great time for that cushion or your soft pillow under your knee. Take a second here, play with the hips, move them side to side. Climb up to your left knee and rise with the arms, palms facing forward. Then we're gonna bow forward and sweep fingertips behind us. Inhale, arms rise, lift out of your hips. Exhale, sink in your hips, sweep the arms forward and down. Inhale. Exhale. One last time, my friends. Move with the rhythm of your breath today. Frame out your front foot. Lift your back knee and shift your hips back any degree you can to stretch your front hamstring. Take a second to lift again. Your side bodies are always really long and spacious. Release back to lunge. Bring your feet together, tabletop. Sit back in child's pose. Let's take that rolling cat. Remember, we rolled our back up into a ball and forward, maybe letting our hips drop, and then drop the belly as we press back to child's pose. Downward facing dog. Tuck all 10 toes. Lift your hips to the sky. Gigantically bent knees enable us to have a longer spine and is much kinder to tight hamstrings. Taking a breath and a little shimmy here and there. Pedal out your heels, push them, pull them, bend and straighten your knees. Let's make really heavy contact with the base of our thumbs and the bottoms of our index fingers so that we can feel a spiraling effect in our upper arms. Biceps forward, triceps back. It enables us to hug our shoulder blades in towards our ribs. One more breath in down dog. Inhale again, roll forward to plank, and you're welcome to kneel this. Open and broaden your chest, then slowly lower it down towards your elbows. Slow descent, be strong. To the floor we go. Extend your toes really far behind you and tent your fingertips somewhere on the floor by your shoulders. Let's lift the backs of our bodies and then release. Being magnetized to the sky from the backs of our necks. Chins are tucked. Back of neck is wrinkle-free. Exhale as you rise. Inhale as you lower. Toes are still down on the mat. Bright, open, and energized toes. Exhale. Inhale. No hands this time, yogis. Let's see if we can lift and hover. Squeeze your shoulder blades in towards your spine. Give it a kiss. Squeeze your big toes together. Squeeze your buns. Lots of energy into your midsection. One more breath. Beautiful. Rolling cat sequence. Cow back into child. Rolling forward, angry cat. Cow back into downward facing dog. So lots of spinal undulations today. Downward facing dog. Right leg rises. Inhale. Three-legged dog. Look forward to thumb tips and try to crunch knee under body and land in between your thumbs. If you get stuck, help your ankle forward. Okay, it's our first time here, so spend a second just playing with this lunge. Let your hips go down. Let them pull back and circle, whatever feels really good. Climb up to your front knee. When you're ready, sweep your hips up and your palms forward. Let's sink back down and sweep the fingertips forward and down. So super bright open palms, like you're shooting fireworks out your fingertips. Inhale, exhale. Try lengthening your neck and opening your throat. Eyes up, eyes down. Feel the back of your neck and your scalp lengthening with new energy. Breathe in. One last time, bigger, slower breaths. Find your unique rhythm today. Frame out your foot. Back foot steps in. This time you could lift it. A little pop to the sky. Release to forward fold, top of head hangs. Spend a second here, yogis. Clasp your hands behind your low back, right thumb on top, and you can just keep your thumbs there. Or extend knuckles behind you or to the sky. Soften our elbows, so we're not ever gonna lock any joints. We're really kind to our joints. Give your head a soft shake, no. No, thank you. We have no time for tension and stress in our lives. And then yes, just because I always like to end on the positive. Slow down your nodding. Bring fingertips to low back, but then physically slide them down your body so they don't clunk into the earth. Slow rise. Make it different from your last rises. Find a new way to explore openness. Find spaciousness and breathe in. Ah, so nice. Left toes step behind you. Get a little squat and then a big lift. Right hand holds left wrist, tip over, but then fly around here. Open your chest, look down, see what feels best. Into the center. Right foot steps behind, lift. Left hand holds right wrist. We tip over. And then seeing what feels really good and exploring. Coming back to center, inhale. Sweep the fingertips down and behind you so your shoulders are really far away. And then we're sinking down in our buns for chair pose. Pull your belly in strong. Lift your chest. If the arms behind are too much, just rest your hands. They're always optional. A little bit of forward folding here. So we're getting really strong in our core and back muscles. Take your body down and fold. Staying in our chair legs. Then rise up. Bring arms out to the sides. Do the same thing. Inhale. Exhale. Open. Goalpost arms. Same thing. Inhale. Exhale. Open. Here comes the tough one. Arms overhead. Any way you like your palms to face that your shoulders are happy. Inhale. Exhale. Holding. Take your fists and roll your wrists. See if you can relax your shoulders a little bit too. Let them slip down your back. Switch directions. Press long. Stay low in your legs. One more time. Let the arms fall into forward fold. Well done, guys. Left leg steps back. Okay, take a kneeling lunge. Remember to cushion up your knee. I don't want you to feel pain in your kneecaps. Get really comfy. One big breath in. Rise up through the right leg and lift your arms overhead. Kneeling lunge. Squeeze your inner thighs together. So if you feel like your hip is poking to the right, squeeze inner thighs together. Drop right arm behind you, left arm forward. This is called archer lunge. It's very tough, so if you feel better, hold your right leg to assist your twist, but squeeze your inner thighs energetically together to help you feel light in the upper half. Left arm rises, right arm falls. Reach back to find your left thigh, maybe your left calf. Reach up, eyes to sky. On your next exhalation, windmill the arms down, left arm falls, squeeze inner thighs together, right arm rises. And let's do some arm circles. So they may come all the way around. If it's too much for your shoulders, make a goalpost arm and swing around this way. Eyes looking in the path of least resistance for our necks. If our necks feel great, follow fingertips. Last one. Beautiful. Push on back, downward facing dog. But I like to stop along the way. So I find table, child's, and then down dog because I feel like more movement is better. Give yourself a breath in down dog. Next inhalation glides you forward. And then just like these raindrops, pitter patter on down to the earth. So a second ago, we did the upper half. This time we're gonna do the lower half. Make a pillow with your hands and rest your forehead on the back of them, but lift your toes and your knees and thighs. Act as if someone's pulling your toes away from your hips. Really push out long, bright, open, energized toes. Start to lift and lower. Fill your buns. Squeeze, release. But we're pressing through the toes. I care less about height than I do about your elongation as you connect with your breath. We have 4, 3, and 1. Beautiful. Let the toes fall. Fingers come down. We tent. And we're trying to lift from the back of our neck. The most minimal use of our hands. Use the strong back muscles. Add on toes, knees, and thighs lifting. Reach fingertips behind you. If you can, left thumb on top as we clasp, soft elbows, and press into full locust. Upper half, lower half lifted. We're balancing on this inflating breath balloon. One more big breath in. Squeeze, squeeze to the midline. Exhale, release. Whew, good job, guys. Press on back. Maybe a rolling cat. Find your downward facing dog. Take a breath in here. Left leg elevates on your next in-breath, three-legged dog. Look forward and try to crunch, really crunch up and into your belly. Land heel between your thumbs. Send your right knee down and make it cozy. Let's rise. When you're ready, hands on left knee, inhale, lift. Okay, remember where we're going. We need to squeeze our inner thighs together. Arch your lunge. Left arm falls behind, right arm forward. It's a twist, so if it's too tough, take your hands to your left thigh instead. We want to find slow, free breath. So if we feel hitched or we're holding our breath, then we need to find an alternative that's a bit easier. Left arm falls, right arm rises. This is tough, so we can stay with our archer lunge. Optionally, this is reverse lunge. Keep squeezing inner thighs together. Think up, 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 then back, so we're not constricting our low back. Right arm swivels. We do this big windmill action to the floor as left arm rises, and then it just continues on its trajectory. So we swing, we circle, we may do a little goalpost. Eye gaze, wherever it wants to be. I love to follow, watching where our left hip is. Squeeze back through the inner thighs. 2 more big circles. Last one, yogis. Really nice. Come on down. Frame out front foot. Can you lift your back leg to rise it? And then step forward into your fold. Take a second in this deep fold. Inhale, arms rise high. Let's find a different way. If you haven't swung, really nice therapy for low back to swing as we rise. Arms left. Clasp hands behind low back. Sink back into chair. Now remember our soft elbows, right? Take your fists around your left side body. So releasing for our right shoulders. And then we're going to try to balance on one foot. Lift your left leg. See if you can extend it forward. It doesn't need to actually lift. You can just lift your heel and then extend your toes forward. So whatever works best for you today. Stay strong and lifted. Rise all the way up with this knee lift. Arms elevate overhead. And we're going to try to hug our knee in. Hands hold the knee. Give it a squeeze. Open it out to the side. If you're on the floor, we're just holding our arms somewhere where it feels good and we can open to the side without hugging. If you have a hold of your knee, either the shin or under the knee is a great place to hug. Take one more big breath in. Extend your leg as an optional add-on. If you're on the floor, you're extending on the floor. Still good balance. Hover even a little bit. Come right back to the way you came. Arms rise. Sink into your chair. Let's sit low, yogis. Left thumb on top. Press knuckles long. They wrap around your right side. Gonna stretch this left shoulder here. Right leg rises. Are you ready? Here we go. One-legged balance. Super good conditioning for our glutes. And I want you to think about lifting from the inner thigh. So you're really using good core strength here. One more big breath in. If you have the wobbles, that's a good thing. It means you're pushing out of your comfort zone. Lift and squeeze. Just give it a hug. Loosen up your hip. Open it to the side. Wobbles are encouraged. It would be no fun if we could nail every pose. Holding somewhere on the outside of the leg, or I like to go under the knee. Really supportive there. Left arm is your counterbalance. And if you're feeling like you want to go for it on this rainy day, extend your right toes. Nothing but breath. That's all that matters. Breathe. Beautiful. Rebend. Sweep everything up. And release back to forward fold. Well done. Little balancing is always fun, but let's move on from that and build some more strength. Halfway lift. Fingers dangle from the floor. Top of head long from tail. Release on down. Right leg steps straight back into lunge. It has to be high this time, yogis. Keep your back knee elevated. Turn all 10 toes to the right side so you're in wide-legged forward fold. And then see where you can take your bodies. We really want to fold down with a long side and a long top of head to tail. Stay long, drop your nose towards the floor. Press out through your tailbone and think of your pelvis like a bowl. So right now it's holding water. Tip it forward with your tailbone poking up to spill water, and then tilt the tailbone down to re-dip and lift some of that water back in the bowl. Tilt tailbone up, tilt tailbone down, feeling that movement through our hamstrings. Breathe in, breathe out. Side body's long, back flat here. One more round. Breathe in and breathe out. Left hand stays under the nose. You find a neutral place where you feel good with your tail. Turn your toes in a little bit so your knees are protected. Right hand to right hip. And then open your eyes to the right side. Sweep the right arm out to the side or all the way up for a big wide-legged twist. And then see how light you can get on your left fingers. Oftentimes we use these as kickstands, our bottom arms. We want to try to start using our entire body. Kick it on strong and stay with the light left fingertips, or maybe play with one finger or a hover. Top arm floats around your low back and attempt to wiggle fingers for your left inner thigh. Getting a big shoulder stretch here. How long is your left side? Reach back to the sky with your right arm. Sweep it all the way down, and let's switch, yogis. Left arm all the way up. And if you feel like you want to make all those pit stops to your hip, to your side wall, you take it as easy as you need. Intensity is not our goal. We want to move and feel really groovy and free. So however that happens in your world is the place to be. Get light on your right hand. Possibly even just on one finger. Or hover. That requires a lot of hamstring strength, right? Keep your knees soft. And remembering that eye gaze is essential to enhancing our twist. So if we look up, we're going to twist bigger. Right side body long, last breath like this. Let your left arm drop around your low back. Now you can twist a bit bigger. Eye gaze to the left if it feels good. One more big breath in wherever you are with your arms. Unwind both hands back under chin, eyes up. Make sure you're halfway lifting so that you can turn your toes out safely. Bend your knees into goddess or god pose. We could call it sumo squat too. Arms rise, make a goal pose, and then rise to five-pointed star. Inhale, squeeze everything together. Right back into our sumo or goddess. Inhale, rise. Exhale, two more. Inhale, rise. Exhale. Inhale. Let's turn back towards the front of our mats. Frame out the left foot and press back into downward facing dog. Remember our pit stops from earlier? I encourage those. Extra movements are always wonderful. Down dog when you're ready. Rolling forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga, a tricep push-up with or without knees. And when you find your way onto the floor, walk your toes back again. Bring fingertips under shoulders. We're going to find modified half bow. Bend your right foot, heel to butt, and then reach back with your right hand and see if you can grab it. It's okay if you can't. You're just going to attempt to go for it. You can either grab top of foot or flex your foot and grab your ankle. Then reach your left arm forward. Use it like a tent and press up through the left fingertips. So we're going to kick with our right leg. If you're holding your right leg, kick into it to straighten it. If we're not holding it, we're still pushing up, we're still reaching and squeezing back. One more breath. Release to the floor. Let your arms come overhead. Let your buns jiggle side to side, big back stretch that you want to release. Left leg does the same, guys. Heel to butt, reach left arm back, attempt to grab top of foot or the ankle. Right arm reaches forward, and then we're going to tent the fingertips to boost us up. but kick into your hand if you're holding. Really try to escape it. Reach, reach. Breathe. Last big breath in, modified half bow. Exhale, release. Reach everything all the way out and then jiggle your hips like a bowl full of jello. Let go of that back tension. Hands back under shoulders, still your hips. Pressing back into downward facing dog. When you're ready, guys, take as much time as you need. From here, left leg elevates. Take a giant breath in. It lunges in between our hands, and we're gonna turn again into wide-legged forward fold. As soon as you get there, turn your toes in so your knees are happy as we move, and walk your hands all the way over to your right toes. Really far away, isn't it? The floor sometimes feels like it was built too low, so if you need props like books or yoga blocks or pillows, put them here. Taking right hand to right waist again, and then extending to the side or the ceiling. Now we have options, yogis. I'm going to show you from the side. You can lift the right blade edge, slip your left fingers under, press back down, and use that as your lever to really twist you up. But it's okay if you want to keep your left hand down. Just remember to keep it really light. One more big breath in this twist. Top arm falls very slowly this time, lots of control. Walk both hands over to your left toes, lengthen. Find your props if you need them. Left hand to hip, side wall, or right on up to the sky. Just a really big version of this twist. Optionally lifting left blade edge, right fingers come under. It's nice to get a little massage over the tips of your fingers too when you press your foot down. Eye gaze may swivel upwards. Last breath in here, lengthen your bottom side especially, right ribs really long. Exhaling, come back forward, and then turn your toes out again, halfway lift to turn them out. So you can swish your hips to the right. We call these animal lunges. Swish your hips to the left, like an animalistic crouching, prowling lunge. If the floor is really low, keep it up here. We can go from one leg to the other. Just getting some freedom into our hips. But then if you're just loving this, it's like one of my favorite things to do, then you can take your hands and reach. Get a good side stretch, really reach. Remembering that this is your practice. So if you find a spot that feels like, ooh, I don't want to leave, that's a nice stretch, stay there. We're gonna go for one more each way. Kind of feel a little bit like Spider-Man, right? Right back on into the center. Turn back the way we came, back into that lunge, and step forward finally. Well done, yogis. Before you rise, take your toes about as wide as your mat. Toes are turned out a little bit. And then bring palms under heart center to bend your knees and roll to the ceiling. We're gonna take a couple rolling squats. Arms rise. They come down wide, sink your buns. A squat can stop at any time, right? Anywhere it feels good. Don't want you to push yourself too far, but you could also be in low yogi squat. Refold. Roll up through your heart center. Inhale. Exhale. We're trying two more of these. If I like my squat up high, it's much more challenging strength-wise here, but if it bothers your hips to go low, stay here. Big breath in, exhale, find two more like that. All right, my friends, it's our last rise from yogi squat. Then we're gonna stay down here, attempting to stay low with our chest lifted. So wherever it feels great for you. And when you get there, we're gonna add some twists into this posture as well. Left hand comes down, right hand, again, to the knee, side wall, or all the way on the diagonal. And then play with your eye gaze. See if that helps you open a tad bit. If I'm in a high squat, I'll be right here. And alternatively, I can put things under my buns and actually sit on something. It's still a really wonderful posture. Fingers come back down right side, and then think about doing that on the left. Hand to knee, reach to side wall, or reach behind you. One more time, yogis. We're just gonna add something on. Right arm rises, and the left arm, if you're down low in yogi squat, comes by my shoulder. So see how I went from up here to down here? Because that way, if I can reach my left arm around, I have the ability to bend my elbow. Then the right arm would come behind me, and I'll show you this from the back, so you get a little bind going on. Can I do it up here in squat? Maybe. Not as well, because I can't get a good hook, but it's still possible. So watch what that looks like. If you're unsure of this bind, your hand comes down, you snuggle up into your shoulder, it bends behind, top arm rises, and we would clasp a little bind. Really great for shoulders and enhancing twists. Last breath in there. Unwind when you're ready. Take a stretch out in a forward fold if you need it, or reach your right shoulder in, arm out, come behind. Sometimes you get a funky pop and, oh, did you hear mine? You get a funky pop in your shoulder. As soon as I said it, my body had to prove it. And usually that's a space creator. It shouldn't feel bad when that happens, but if it does, come out, listen to your bodies and just pause. One more big breath in here, guys. Unwinding. Take a break in a wide-legged forward fold with as bent of knees as you need to, but let your low back stretch out here. Toe heel, or just step your feet back under your hips. Take a giant step back with your right leg. And then let's find that pyramid pose we did earlier. This is a wide one that I have, if you can see. Typically, pyramid pose is about 3 feet from front toes to back foot. And not on a tightrope. We have some distance between our feet, left to right. So find what feels good for you. And then see if you can scissor your inner thighs energetically together. Super, super long in our side bodies and back. And then you're able to let go. So even if you want to hunch your back down, that's okay. You've done a lot of work. Time to start to surrender. And this is probably never going to happen for any of us, but directionally, I want you to think of energy going from chin to left big toe to really feel your back elongating. Some options for those of you that practice pyramid a lot and may want to do something more interesting. We can bring our hands to our hips. You can go, what's a prayer behind your low back is called reverse namaste. So reverse namaste behind your low back, but then peel your elbows open and still squeeze your hips so they're nice and square. Or my favorite thing to do is what I like to call flamingo. I don't know if that's really what it's called, but we shift so that we can lift our back toes. Here's the trick to flamingo. We take our fingers and we spin them backwards so it's less support, and then we lift our back toes. Kind of looks like a flamingo, right? So do something fun and funky that makes you feel like you're really loving this pyramid pose. Shift your weight forward when you're done. Elevate your back toes, almost where we started, but this time we're going to try standing split. Walk right fingertips forward and use your left hand to hold your right ankle so that you might be able to get a little bit more folded and a little bit more lifted in your back leg. If it feels great, really lift your leg, get upside down, or we can keep our right toes on the floor. Really important to get upside down here to feel this beautiful hamstring stretch. Lastly, if it's tough for you to lift your right leg, take a little bent leg version. It feels great. All this breathing upside down is pretty awesome. Getting beautiful new energy flowing to our brains for a very focused and productive afternoon. Okay, forward fold, yogis, but we got to give our poor hamstrings a break. So we're going to squat again with closed toes this time. Bring your buns to your heels, and it's okay if you want to keep your hands forward, or we're trying tiptoe squat. So we're going to send our knees forward, lift our bodies, really pull energy in between your thighs, ankles, and in your belly. And if you can take your fingers off the ground, we'll spread them somewhere. Kind of like a crossing guard, like do all the things with your arms and find out what feels really good. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Alternatively, if this isn't working, just keep everything down and hover for a second. All right, let's lose our squat. Come back to forward fold. But this time we're stepping our left legs back. Pyramid pose. You can go wide if that feels best for you. Wide enough that I'm able, left to right wide, able to take my left hip and swing it forward towards my right big toe. Squeeze inner thighs. Staying here is really beautiful. We can drop our torso. We can round our back once we get really cozy. Or we can attempt all those fun things. Also really great to use your airplane wings and just fly here. Make sure your front knee is soft, no hyperextending, okay? And then really squeeze your inner thighs. You know, we had that reverse namaste option. Or if you're feeling really playful and you wanted to do a flamingo in the rain, we could do fingers back, back toes, pull heel into butt. Take your chin down towards your nose. And then tap down. Find one more breath in your pyramid. Shifting weight forward for standing split. We don't even have to lift here, guys. Just a shift forward feels pretty awesome, right? But if you want, I like to send my left arm forward so I can hold on to my right ankle without feeling like I'm gonna fall over. Then I lift my left toes, even just a little bit is great. All the way up, great. If none of that works today, bend. Just lift a little bit. Find something that's really stretching your right hamstring. And the most important thing is you're gaining all this upside down confidence, which is not easy. Find slow, calm, cool as a cucumber breaths upside down here. Unclench your jaw if you're really clamping down for security. That definitely doesn't help us. One more breath, yogis. On your exhalation, draw back to forward fold. Whoo, right back to a squat of any choosing. There's a couple more options that we have. We could do the ones we just did, or tiptoe stand, or you can take your legs wide. Oh, I love this one for the inner thighs. And then you can do whatever feels good. So some version of a squat, just letting go of our hamstrings for a moment. Good news, we finished all of the standing, balancing, all the tough stuff, and we just get to chill out. So when you're ready, take your squat to the floor, one hand in front, one hand in back, so we smoothly find our transition. I think this might be my favorite way to end class. We're gonna do spinal twisting, but we get to work our obliques while we do it. Make your way onto your back slowly, lots of strength. Take your knees into your chest and give your body the biggest hug ever. It really deserves it. Squeeze in, nose to knees, love, love, love yourself. And a great time to rock side to side. Like if you feel a little tense or sore in your low back a lot, it's so nice to massage out all those kinks. Let your head rest again. Okay, guys, we're gonna be strong in the beginning. Spread your arms wide so we have a really anchored down shoulder girdle all the way through our fingertips. Bring your knees over your hips and they're bent at 90 degrees. Let's drop our knees to the left side, both knees bent, but hover them. Use your obliques to squeeze you back up. Breath out. Sink down to the right. Inhale. Press your left shoulder down. Exhale, rise. Making sure we feel anchored the whole time. One more time like that. We're going to keep changing this. Inhale. Press opposite shoulder down. Exhale. Nicely done. Ready for one more? All right, our add-on, if you choose. Drop to the left, extend your right leg. Try to keep it extended. Rebend. Top leg makes it a bit harder, yes? Drop to the right, left leg extends. Press left shoulder down, straighten up. Woo. All right, so you know what we're going for, don't you? Both legs, extend them, rebend them. We'll add on that other part in a second because it's a little too tough to start with. Take them to the right, both legs extend. Use your breath here, my friends. Rebend. Okay, the option is the straight leg spinal twist. So let's come on over. Here goes nothing. Straighten your legs. Strong obliques, strong shoulders. Go right to the other side. Come on back up. All the way over. Use your breath. We're going to go for one more big swivel around both corners. And then the work is done officially. We're just gonna relax. Inhale, exhale. One more time, friends. When you get back to your left side, however you want to travel to the earth, we're finding our way down. I recommend tapping toes and scooting your hips to the right, then drop your legs to the left, so that when you land, your hips are under your shoulders for a really long spine. Extending through your top leg if it feels good. Let your left hand rest. Take your eyes up to the ceiling, and I have a cute little add-on if you want it. Can you lift your left toes, your bottom toes? Can you see them? If you can, reach your right hand all the way down. It's easier to grab them when you can see them. And you're going to get a hold of them for a cat tail. Pull this heel in towards your butt, and then attempt to roll your eye gaze back to the center and your right shoulder down. Noticing what happens to our breath when we do these big twists. Gets a little stuck in places, right? So slow it down and really send it. The tips of fingers, tips of toes, all your hair follicles. Envision your jellyfish. I love seeing that breath. It's so helpful, I think, to really rise and open and just fall softly, smoothly, just so liquidy. And begin to let tension drop away from your face here. When you're done that next out breath, slowly let go of what you have, your cat tail. How do you want to come back to center? Make it gentle. All the work is over with. And then we're going to drop to the right. I like to tap toes, scoot hips to the left, drop knees to the right. You're good where you are. Or you can extend your left leg, right hand can rest on top. Oh, my friends, I apologize. I usually like to finish both sides of a stretch, but it is 1:55. I just noticed. So if you have to head out of class, happy Friday, have a great weekend, and I can't wait to see you next week. If you can stay, we're going to finish up class with a few more minutes. So we're in our spinal twist, and we may want to poke our right toes to the ceiling. Left hand would try to grab, attempting that cat's tail. So once I get my heel to my butt, then I want to scooch my shoulders back down and my eyes towards the sky. Opening your jaw, letting out a big sigh. Allow your tongue to rest heavily on the back of your bottom teeth. Start to feel like your mouth is moving like a parachute. The roof of your mouth inflates as you inhale. Exhale, feel your bottom jaw and tongue get heavier. Corners of eyes in between your eyebrows, and your whole forehead gets really smooth and soft. Envision all that facial tension rolling down off the sides of your face, the back of your ears. We're leaving it here today in our mat. Eyes back to sky. Slowly let go of your cat tail. Refold your knees so we come up so slow. Just roll back. If you have a tender low back, it may help you to roll to the fetal position and then roll up as one unit. And then spread your back really wide. Hold on to your knees, but make them wide. We're going for happy baby. Such a nice, silly way to end class. So let's take our feet to the sky. Bend our knees, and you can hold anywhere. You can even wrap your forearms around the backs of your thighs. I like to hold on to my outer edges of feet because then you get this awesome toe stretch. So when you feel like you're stamping your feet on the ceiling, spread your back. And if you have the outer edges of your feet, take your thumbs and use them to lever your toes down and kind of roll around. Take the next one, press them down, and kind of roll and wiggle them. Just really like a happy baby. It's so silly and so nice, loving and restorative. Get that next toe. I like to take my toes and push back into my hand so it feels like I'm getting this great stretch. And then the big toe, really push your toe back into your thumb as you pull. Letting go of our toes, Trying to straighten one leg only if this feels really good for us. Move it down and around. Move around your mat to see where your favorite place to get an inner thigh stretches. Let's try the other leg. Might feel a little crunchy in your hips. Find a place that feels restorative and long. Rebending right back in towards the center now. And one more time, we're going to give ourselves that massive hug. It's a loving hug filled with gratitude for the way our bodies moved, for our commitment to our self-care. And then I would rock side to side one more time. You're welcome to pop straight up to seated. Sometimes it's fun to roll toes to head. It's a different kind of a back massage, and then you can just pop right up to seated. Or you can roll to your side and use your top hand to rise to any seated position that feels really good for you. At the end of your class, palms down for grounding. Palms open for receiving more inspiration. Even though we have these virtual borders, the good vibes are endless. We're going to transmute some good vibes towards one another through these computers and iPhones that we're using. Let's take some collective energetic breaths in to prepare for the rest of our day. And while you're breathing, I'd like to read you a little breath prayer. May today be a day in which we take time to breathe a little deeper. May our breaths be quality. May they inspire a little movement or some stillness. May our breaths serve as a baseline for, if ever, whenever in doubt, let's return to our breath. May today be a day in which we take time to consider our relationship to our breath. Let's become consciously aware of it. May this relationship support all of our other relationships. May it be a faithful one. And may this relationship with our breath grow strong. Bringing hands to heart center, touching into our heartbeats and lifting our chests up to refine that gorgeous posture that we worked really hard on lengthening today. Tuck chin down towards heart center in a sign of gratitude for your practice. Yogis, the light in me honors, cherishes the time we spend together, is very inspired by and grateful for the light that is each and every one of you. Namaste.